Welcome to Sparty Talk, everyone. I am Satchmo. I'm joined by the one, the only, the Thin Man DB. Greetings, DB.
Greetings and salutations.
So we got a couple treats for you today. First of all, we're going to run through the women's bracket real fast. DB and I will just cut to the Final Four, offer some final thoughts. Why are we cutting to the Final Four and only offering some final thoughts? Because Michigan State's not going to go that far. And beyond the Spartans, I mean, no, we're going to watch. We enjoy
Yes.
the show, but we're just not going to go pick by pick.
No.
We are going to go pick by pick in the men's bracket.
Yep.
And so if you're looking for advice, want to fill out your brackets, just be warned, if you think Michigan's going to win a few games, this isn't the show for you. Uh, just not the show for you.
No.
So we got that. Then just want to tease this in an upcoming podcast. We've uncovered footage of Ward Manuel interviewing Dusty May for the Michigan head coaching job. And so we're going to share that in an upcoming episode. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to that. You're
Yeah.
not going to want to miss that. No, no, no. Don't want to miss
Mm-mm.
that one. Uh,
I can't wait.
oh, I cannot wait to see this video. Anyway, this is going to be quick. We're going to go through the brackets really fast, and we will offer our logic. And if you want to know why we're picking Michigan to lose, then you really need to take a look at the name of this podcast. Uh, as Tom Izzo said, oh, what was on the McAfee? He says it's like you can't like the ex of your, of your girlfriend. It's just rivalries need a little hatred, and we're right
Right.
there with you, Coach.
Exactly.
All right. So let's start with the women's bracket here, DB. Uh, it's all right. I will be honest. I love women's basketball. I
Yes.
am going to watch a lot of the women's tournament.
Same.
That said, there isn't much mystery to the women's tournament.
No.
The only mysterious things in reality is how far are the Michigan State women going to advance and whether USC is going to beat UConn. That's it.
Right. Right.
That's the entire mystery to this tournament. Because
Right.
I'll tell you what, I've got UCLA going to the Final Four. I got
Same.
South Carolina going to the Final Four.
Yep.
I got Texas going to the Final Four.
Yep.
And I got UConn going to the Final Four.
Oh
Now,
wait, I
I
might
might be
be.
wrong about UConn. It might be USC. It's either USC or UConn. I think USC got jobbed. I think USC
Yes.
100% got jobbed. Texas should be in this region and USC should be in the other. And then USC would
Yes.
be in the Final Four. So I'm going to stick up for our new Big Ten brethren and say USC got jobbed.
Yes. I think I'm with you totally. The only place where I might differ is I don't have Texas. I actually have Notre Dame there.
Yeah, I can't. Even if I thought Notre Dame was going to win, I can't pick Notre Dame. Uh, uh, uh,
Uh,
but yeah, I can see that. Notre Dame's been good all year long.
yep. And my gut tells me UConn will beat USC, even
Yeah,
though even though it'll be a tough game. I just think USC might be too much, Juju Watkins and the supporting cast around her might not be enough. But I'll tell you what,
yeah,
if USC and UCLA are together in the Final Four, that's a heck of a game.
yeah. And then that's another thing. USC and UCLA have already played 3 times. What is the NCAA committee doing, putting them on the same side? Come on,
Yeah, I
people.
don't. Yeah, I don't
That's the
understand.
national championship game.
Yes.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
I completely agree with you. Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, that's your women's tournament in a nutshell. Who do you got winning?
South Carolina again.
UCLA. Go Big Ten.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Hard to hard to think of them that way, but yeah, yeah. I mean, look, if that's the case, sure, I'll be rooting for UCLA, but
Yeah.
South Carolina is still really good in my opinion.
Yeah, South
Um,
Carolina is very good. I just love UCLA just plays good brand of basketball.
yeah,
They're
yes,
fun to
they do.
watch. They're tough. USC got their number twice. UCLA came back in the Big Ten tournament, won that one. And let's bring a women's national championship home to the Big Ten. I mean, it's been 25 years since the men won one. It's time for the women to get one.
So was it the case, just real quick, on the USC UCLA thing, that Big Ten championship game determined what region they were going to go into? Was that the
I don't believe anything the NCAA tournament tells me. I honestly, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, they talk about contingency brackets and doing this and doing that, and I just look at it and say, you are putting on a TV show, and you want to know what the best TV show will be? USC UCLA, make it happen.
Right. Yep.
Yep. So okay.
What how far do you have the Spartans going?
Oh yes, that's right. That's the other mystery in
Yes.
this. So the Spartans play Harvard.
Saturday at 4:30 p.m. on ESPN News.
Yes. Who knew ESPN News was still a channel? Uh,
Right.
for
Right.
a lot of people, a lot of people, Harvard is like the popular upset pick.
Hmm.
Those people are wrong. Michigan State's going to beat Harvard.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon can go cry in the Charles.
I agree with you. I don't think Harvard has played anyone quite
Yeah.
like MSU.
No.
Um, yeah, so I
Yeah.
have exactly the same thing. Yes,
And I
MSU to
don't
the
think
second
people
round.
appreciate how hard it is to prep for Michigan State, especially off of all of this rest, how hard it is to prep and then adjust and then get used to it. And I think Michigan State wins this one. That said, I think they lose the NC State. Anytime Michigan State stepped up in class this year, they've struggled. And
Yeah.
NC State's in just another class.
Right. And that's where, the Michigan State women's team has to have a better regular season so they don't get these 7 and 8 seeds.
Yeah, they got to get the better regular season. They just got to get more talent, more depth.
Yeah.
Just
Um, I mean, I will say this. If they somehow do beat NC State, and they get to the Sweet 16, I think that's just gravy. I
yes,
mean, that's a great thing to hang your head on for next season.
100%.
Hmm.
I'm with you. So let's go, Michigan State. Let's make some history. Let's get some stuff done. But at a minimum, let's beat Harvard. I-
So we could send Ben Affleck and Matt Damon into the Charles.
All right. All right. Let's do the men's bracket.
All right.
All right. We're going to start in the South,
Okay.
and we're going to start in the South because, well, that's the bracket we care about. Michigan State's the number 2 seed in the South.
Mhm.
We're going to spend more time in this bracket, and if you don't like it, go watch another podcast. Uh,
I think we've made this pretty clear to you. So go away right now if you don't like it.
yes, this is Sparty Talk.
Yes.
All right, this is not Blue Jay Talk. Right. All right, this is not Blue Devil Talk.
No. Oh, no.
This
No.
is not Liberty, Liberty, Liberty Talk.
I knew we'd say that tonight.
This is Sparty Talk.
All right.
All right, Auburn. I assume you've got them winning the first
Yeah,
round.
it doesn't matter. Alabama State's going to be the team, but yes.
Yes. All right. Louisville versus Creighton.
Louisville's been very hot. Creighton is a good ball club, but I'm going Louisville there. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going Louisville with you. I agree. I think Louisville's on a roll. They're
Yep.
playing well,
Hmm.
and they've got enough to knock off Creighton. Though I like Creighton.
I do. Yep.
Michigan against UC San Diego.
Well, this is a popular Cinderella pick here to say UC San Diego, and it'll be a tough game. But I think Michigan has improved this year, and so I do choose them here in this game.
Yeah, I can't do that. UC San Diego. Let's go.
I'm glad one of us was able to do that and one of us
Yes.
not. Okay.
Yes. Let's go. Let's beat those guys from Ann Arbor.
They're the what's their nickname again? Like not the Toreros, that's San Diego. It's the T Torinos or it's
Something like
something.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't matter. UC San Diego. I will be watching that game just to root for UC San Diego. In fact, when the brackets were announced, I was like, oh, Steve Fisher. No, wait a minute. That's San Diego State, and he's not there anymore. So, yes, UC San Diego. I was like, oh, well, they're relatively new to all this. Go
There's
UC San
three. Yeah,
Diego.
there's three San Diego teams now. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's
I don't get it.
hey, but if you think about it, San Diego should do well. I mean, if you are the city of San Diego, you have so much more to offer than most of the university towns. I mean, it's San Diego.
Right.
You've got perfect weather. You've got the beaches. You're like, yeah, come here, live the high life. I mean, seriously, who wouldn't want to go to school in San Diego? I mean, I've always maintained it's a good thing I went to Michigan State. Because if I went to the University of Hawaii or if I went to San Diego, there's a good chance I would have flunked out of school. Too much extracurricular, not enough curriculum.
Oh yeah, I do not enough curricular. Yeah, with that type of vocabulary, that'd be absolutely right that you would have gotten there. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about those places. I shouldn't say that.
Yes, well, Texas A&M versus Yale.
Okay. This is another popular pick
Yes.
where the lower, where Yale, lots of people are saying Yale, but I'll tell you,
Well, 13
again,
4 is the new 12-5.
yeah, like 60 is the new 50 or whatever. Um, I'm still gonna say Texas A&M here. Texas A&M has a big center that he's gonna give, as long as he doesn't get in foul trouble, he's gonna give Yale some problems. So I think Texas A&M is gonna squeak by here. What do you
Yeah.
got?
Yeah, I like Texas A&M here too.
Yeah.
Uh, Ole Miss, San Diego State, or UNC.
Yeah, at the moment it's looking like UNC. It doesn't matter. Ole Miss is coached by Chris Beard, who's kind of had some issues going around here, but he's still a good coach. They're a smaller team, but I think Ole Miss would win this no matter who they play.
Yeah, I refuse to pick a Chris Beard team. Give me either San Diego State or UNC.
Well, I mean, UNC could find life here. I mean, they are UNC, so you never know.
Yeah. Iowa State Lipscomb.
Again, people are talking about Lipscomb, but I'm going Iowa State here. I think they're good.
Yeah, Iowa State's got major injury concern. Their best
Me
player
too.
is injured, or one of their best players is injured. I think they've got enough juice to get past Lipscomb.
Yeah.
Marquette, New Mexico.
Marquette also some injury issues. They got somebody coming back. New Mexico's really good. I'm going with the Lobos here.
Going with Los Lobos. I've got Marquette.
Okay.
I think stylistically, Marquette's going to give New Mexico some issues. And Michigan State Bryant.
So I keep like having these like weird thoughts about this game because Bryant is a big team. They're a sizable team, physical, but I would say I'd be more scared if this was the last couple years
Yes.
of Michigan State, without the bigs developed. But I think because of that, and Michigan State's getting dragged through the mud by the critics for their lack of 3-point shooting, which I find amusing. It's not like Michigan State can shoot threes, Actually, they can sometimes. They just don't like live at the 3-point line anymore, which is
Yeah,
kind of funny.
their percentage has been pretty bad, but
Yeah.
it's substantially higher than it was to begin the season.
Yes.
Bryant's got some size at the guard position, which is going to give Michigan State some problems. But I think Michigan State is overall, especially in the front court, is deeper. I mean, This is a Bryant team that actually plays a lot like Michigan State. They defend, they rebound, they like to run. I think the pace is going to be at Michigan State's liking. And I think Cohen Carr. That's the thing that Brian does. That's the thing no one has. But I expect this to be a big Cohen Carr game. I also think that the Michigan State bigs are going to do relatively well in this because uh, they're better than advertised. And, the Big Ten got to know the bigs and game plan against them and all of that sort of stuff. Bryant doesn't have that level of familiarity. And Michigan State's pace is just remarkable. So yeah, I like Michigan State. I think this is closer than the experts think. But as Lee Corso might say, but I like Michigan State.
Agreed.
All right. Let's work our way back up this bracket. Michigan State, I've got Marquette, you've got the Lobos. Who do you have advancing?
MSU.
MSU, yes. Victory to MSU.
Hmm.
That is the way we roll here on
Sweet
Sparty
16.
Talk.
Yep.
Sweet 16, here we come. Uh, Iowa State versus Ole Miss.
Yeah, and you said either San Diego State or
Yep.
UNC. Boy, the TV networks would love to see UNC play MSU here, and it's possible. But I think MSU wins. I think regardless of who they play here, I think MSU wins. This is a nice draw for
Oh,
MSU
well,
right
no,
here
no,
in
wait a
these
minute.
spots.
Who do you have playing the Iowa State, UNC, San Diego State?
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
Ole Miss.
Okay, you got Ole Miss going to beating Iowa State.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. I've got Iowa State beating whoever it is, San Diego State, UNC.
Okay.
Yeah, and so then you've got Michigan State beating Ole Miss.
Yes.
Okay, and I've got Michigan State beating Iowa State.
Hmm.
So we have Michigan State both, and we have Michigan State advancing to the Elite Eight.
That's right.
All right, let's take that top of the bracket real fast. Auburn, Louisville.
I'm gonna go Auburn here. It's a tough choice. I mean, no Louisville's hot, and everyone seems to want to bury Auburn right now, but I think they just maybe took their foot off the gas a little bit at the end of the season. I think they're still a damn good team. So I'm going Auburn there.
Yeah, I agree. I've got Auburn, Louisville, and then you've got Michigan A&M. I've got San Diego A&M. Who do you have winning that?
I do have Michigan winning that to the Sweet 16.
Oh, you're killing me, DB. Do you not know the name of this podcast?
Well, my head says that, but my heart does not. I mean, I'm totally rooting for UC San Diego here, but I'm just telling you what I think.
Okay, I've got Texas A&M beating UC San Diego, and then Auburn, Michigan for you.
Auburn, I have Auburn there. I think
Yeah.
that's too much for Michigan.
Yep, I've got Auburn, Texas A&M. I've got Auburn, Michigan State.
Oh boy. I've gone back and forth on this, and I'd love to hear your opinion, but um, Auburn's so good.
Yeah.
They've had such a good season. I kind of feel like, unfortunately, the road ends for Michigan State right here. What do you
Yeah,
say?
I agree. This is where those scoring droughts that Michigan State is occasionally prone to catches up with them. You can't go into a scoring drought against Auburn. You
Right.
just
Now,
can't do it.
if there's no Auburn there, Michigan State I think, has a good path, a
Agree.
good possible path to the Final Four. I really
Yep.
do. I
Yep.
really do. But Auburn is the one that I just don't know. Yeah.
Auburn is the only team in the South bracket I feel like they can't beat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got Michigan State reaching the Elite Eight, but not the Final Four.
That's right.
All right. That's the South. Let's go to the West. Uh, Florida, Norfolk State. I'm assuming you have Florida.
Yeah, and this is a loaded region, by the way, and some damn good coaches in this one too. But yes, I have Florida.
Yes. I feel like it's more good coaches than loaded teams. That
Right,
makes
right.
sense.
Yeah, it's big time names and I mean there's a few good ones. Florida's
Yeah,
having a good year.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Florida's the best team in this region.
Hmm.
Yukon, Oklahoma. I've got Yukon.
Yeah, same. I just don't think Oklahoma has enough to play with them, and UConn still has some experience on that team.
Yep, agreed. Memphis, Colorado State. Everyone seems to be picking Colorado State, but I got Memphis here.
Yeah, I'm going CSU here. I'm feeling that.
You're feeling the CSU love. The Rams, Ram tough. Uh,
Dodge. Hey, Dodge.
Dodge, call him Dodge. Maryland, Grand Canyon.
Okay, here's another one where I keep reading Grand Canyon. By the way, with a really cool name. I've
Yes.
and now it's escaping me, but it's kind of clever. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Grand Canyon." Yes, I was like, we're not the biggest Maryland Terp fans here, but I'm going to say Maryland's going to win this one.
I agree. I think Grand Canyon's really good. I just don't
Hmm.
think Grand Canyon's face a starting five the caliber of Maryland.
No, they haven't.
Yeah. Missouri versus Drake.
Okay, here's another one where Drake is on everybody's mind, and we're not talking about the singer Drake. We're talking about the team Drake.
Well,
And
the singer Drake has already lost to Kendrick Lamar, so he's out of the tournament.
I'll tell you what, if this was Drake versus Kendrick, that's the only thing I would be watching.
Oh,
I'm not
yes.
watching this game, but I am going Drake here.
Yes, as am I.
Yes. Hmm.
Uh, yeah, as am I. I mean, he's basically got a bunch of D2 players that have come up, which I think is
Hmm.
fabulous.
Yeah.
And I think
Yep.
they got a point to prove, and they're going to do it. Texas Tech versus UNC Wilmington. I've got
I think
Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas Tech probably will blow UNC Wilmington out. Texas Tech is really underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Arkansas versus Kansas. Everyone's talking about that game. Everyone loves this game. The problem is it's two crappy teams. Like the
I know.
coaches and the programs are great, but the game's going to be terrible.
Right, and it's not Kansas and Kentucky. But it's Calipari against Self, so you can expect some good coaching of what either team has, but it feels like Kansas has a little more here.
Yeah, I've got Arkansas here, but
All right.
it doesn't really matter. Uh, St. John's versus Omaha. We both have St. John's.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's work our way back up this bracket. St. John's versus Kansas for you, and St. John's versus Arkansas for me. I assume you've got St. John's advanced.
Yeah, I got St. John's here.
And Texas Tech versus Drake.
Texas Tech.
Yeah. Now this was the game that Texas Tech St. John's was honestly the hardest game in the tournament for me to pick. Uh, I really like Texas Tech. Uh, and I really dislike Rick Pitino,
Yeah,
right?
he's a douchebag.
He's a douchebag. But I think St. John's is going to win the game.
Mm.
So this is going to be a battle royale. But I like St. John's here. What about you, DB?
I'm going Texas Tech there.
Okay,
I really
that's
think they're
fair.
underrated. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think they're underrated too. Like I said, I went back and forth on this. Florida versus UConn.
I got Florida.
Yeah. Memphis, Maryland.
Um, you have Memphis, I have CSU. I'm going CSU over Maryland there.
Oh, that's right. You've got CSU. You got the Rams.
Got the Rams upsetting the Terps there.
Got the Rams over the Terps. Well, I mean, if this was a mascot battle, that makes perfect sense. Uh,
And they would smush the turtle.
yeah, one of the reasons I like the Terps over Memphis is Memphis got some injury issues, and I think that plays heavily in Maryland's favor. But all right,
Hmm.
you got Florida, Colorado State. I'm assuming you got Florida.
Yes.
All right, I've got Florida, Maryland. The Terps run ends there. Florida beats Maryland. Okay, Florida, St. John's, DB. Who do you got going to the Final Four?
Florida right there.
Yep, same here.
Hmm. Yep.
Same here. All right, let us go to the East.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yep. Duke Blue Devils. I assume you've got them advancing.
Yeah, no, whether there's a flag or not a flag, I think Duke advances that
There
way.
you go.
Yeah.
Baylor, Mississippi State.
This is a really tough one for me to pick. I had a lot of trouble here.
Hmm.
But I am going to go Mississippi State on this one.
Yeah, I went Baylor.
Hmm.
I feel like every year Baylor's better than we think,
Yeah,
and they win a game that we don't. But doesn't really matter because they're going to lose to Duke. Uh,
probably.
Oregon versus Liberty, Liberty, Liberty.
The Liberty. Um, this is another one where people are like, watch out for Liberty. I mean, I think Oregon's pretty good. I'm going to go with Oregon there.
Yeah, I'm going with Liberty.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't trust Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think this game's in the East Coast, right? And Oregon's
Oh, yeah, it is.
just been
Yeah,
terrible when they've traveled out.
that's true.
Just a little bit thing there. Arizona, Akron. This is one of those weird things. A lot of people like Akron. I've got Arizona. Who do you got?
Again, it was tough for me to decide here, but I'm on the Akron Zips wagon here.
Oh, there you go. Going Midwest, baby.
Hmm.
Uh, BYU versus VCU.
This could be a heck of a game. This could
Yes,
be
I
like one
agree.
of the best ones of the first round. It's also hard to pick, but I did go BYU. I think they're solid.
Yeah, I think BYU sneaky good.
Yep.
Wisconsin, Montana.
I got Wisconsin out of that game.
Yeah, I got Wisconsin out of that game too. St. Mary's, Vanderbilt.
St. Mary's always pretty good. I'm going with them there.
I like Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's been a giant
Oh,
slayer all year long. I think they got enough to win one game in this tournament.
that'd be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and Alabama, Robert Morris.
Alabama's also underrated. I'm going with them here.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
wouldn't say Alabama's underrated. I think they're underappreciated.
Okay, that's probably the better thing to say. Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially in this region, they're getting lost behind Duke,
yeah,
which they probably like. That's probably okay.
yep. Alabama versus Vanderbilt.
So you said Vandy and I said St.
St.
Mary's.
Mary's. Yeah,
Well, either way, I say Alabama there.
I agree. BYU, Wisconsin.
I'm going BYU there.
Same here.
Hmm.
Same here.
Yeah.
And BYU, Alabama.
Ooh, gonna still say Alabama.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
All right. Top of the bracket, Duke. You had Mississippi State. I had Baylor. We both got Duke winning that game.
It's Duke either way.
Yeah, Duke either way. I had a 12-4 of Liberty, Arizona. I went with Arizona. You had Akron versus Oregon.
Akron's gonna be my Cinderella to the 16 here to play Duke.
Okay, and then the magic carpet ride ends.
Yep.
Yeah, Duke versus Alabama. I've got Duke in the Final Four. Who do you have, DB?
Alabama. Sweet home Alabama is gonna
Alabama.
pull the
Roll
upset.
Tide, baby.
And we're gonna have so far three SEC teams here in this thing, Satchmo.
Roll Tide. Yeah, I've only got two, but you've got three.
Hmm.
Roll Tide. All right. Houston. I've got them winning.
Yep.
Gonzaga, Georgia.
Gonzaga.
I got Georgia.
Ooh, tell
Yeah.
me your rationale on that one.
I actually think this is like one of the weaker Gonzaga teams we've seen in a while. They didn't even win their own conference tournament.
Mm,
And they just haven't been playing good quality teams all year round the way Georgia
mm.
has. So I think Georgia's
Okay.
battle tested.
Okay.
Yeah. Clemson, what do you like about Gonzaga?
I still think they have a pretty good offense, and I think they just have a little bit more, especially with the coaching, than Georgia. That's kind of
Uh,
what I'm basing it on.
they have a lot more in the coaching.
Yeah. I just think that sometimes a good coach can give you 3 to 5 extra points.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Clemson, McNeese.
This is another one where everybody's kind of touting McNeese, but I'm good. Clemson's had a pretty solid year
Yeah,
quietly, so I'm going to go Clemson there.
yeah, I've got Clemson there too.
Yeah.
Purdue, High Point.
I think Purdue will be glad to be out of the Big Ten, so I'm
Yes.
going to say Purdue right there.
Yeah, same here. Illinois versus whoever.
I think it's Illinois.
Yeah, I've got whoever.
Yeah. So you went with the whoever over Illinois.
Yes.
Oh, what's your thing with Illinois here?
I I don't think Illinois. I Everyone's high on Illinois' talent, but Illinois just keeps losing. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Um,
it, I,
yeah. It's unclear how to,
I'm not
yeah.
buying Illinois' defense, and
No.
their offense is just funky. So I'm going with whoever.
Yeah, this is a down year for Illinois. I feel like they're fortunate to have gotten into the NCAA tournament this year.
I, I think they actually have a fair amount of talent. It's just never come together for 'em.
Right, that's right. There's no cohesion. They
Yes.
haven't looked. I've only seen them play the two times against MSU, and yeah, they kind of came apart in
Yeah.
those games. Yeah.
Uh, Kentucky versus Troy.
This could be a better game than people give it credit for. I think
Yep.
Troy's gonna put a little scare into Kentucky, but I think Kentucky's gonna pull it out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
UCLA versus Utah State.
So whiny Mick Cronin here,
Yeah.
yelling about things. I think he's gonna pull this one through over Utah
Yeah.
State, but Utah State's good.
Yeah, I knocked his whiny ass right out of the tournament here.
Him and Cronin and Dusty May could have a wine and cheese
Cheese
brunch
party,
somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's enough salt in those tears to season their food. Uh, uh, Tennessee versus Wofford.
Before I make my pick here, people are really beating up Rick Barnes. I mean, they're really taking him to task. They're calling him Mr. Choker, you
Oh,
know.
please.
I mean,
Most of these people would give both of their knees to have the career Rick Barnes would have.
right. I mean, he does get teams in the tournament. I think people are overreacting. Yeah, I got Tennessee there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I've got Tennessee versus Utah State. You've got Tennessee versus UCLA. Who do you got?
I got the Vols either way.
Okay. I've got Kentucky versus whoever. You've got Kentucky versus Illinois. Who do you have?
Kentucky.
Yep. Tennessee, Kentucky. What do you think?
Kentucky beat Tennessee twice this year. It makes me kind of think that's a bit of a matchup problem somehow for Tennessee. I'm going Kentucky there.
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee all the way.
Okay, all
Tennessee
right.
plays defense.
Hmm.
And I think on a neutral court, they'll take care of business.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the top of this bracket. Uh, Houston, I've got Georgia, you got Gonzaga, you got Houston advancing.
Yeah, I got Houston either way. They play tenacious defense.
Yeah, you and I had Clemson versus Purdue.
I'm going Purdue there. I think Purdue's going to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, I've got Clemson. Purdue feels more like Purdue this year. Uh,
Purdue feels like no Zach Edey this year.
exactly.
Yeah,
All right, Houston, Purdue for you.
I got Houston there.
Yeah, Houston, Clemson for me. I've got Houston as well. You've got Houston.
I
You've
would
got
have
Houston,
Houston.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Houston does have a little bit of an offensive issue. They have some issues on offense. I mean, I think they're a good team. I've got them in to the Final Four reluctantly.
Oh,
I'm a little bit. I'm not like sold on Houston, but I've got them going in there.
I'm all in, baby. Give me Houston.
Okay.
Uh, I'll explain why in a minute.
Okay.
I'll explain why in a minute. Florida, Florida St. No, not Florida St.
Florida Auburn, I think we both
Florida
said there.
Auburn. Yep, Florida
Well,
Auburn.
it's gonna be a heck of a game. Florida's really talented. I'm gonna put them in the final.
Yeah, I think this is where the Auburn Magic Carpet ride ends. I've got Florida in there. Houston versus who did you have, DB?
I said Alabama.
Yeah, okay, Houston, Alabama.
I'm going Alabama.
Going Alabama. Wow.
SEC final.
SEC final, Florida versus Alabama. Who do you have?
Bama, baby.
Roll Tide.
Bama's cutting down the nets. That's what I think. It's going to be very weird to see that in
Yeah,
basketball. Yep.
it is. So I've got Houston Duke in this final here, and I've got Houston cutting down the nets, beating
Okay.
Florida.
I would love to see that. I mean, they'd be very
So,
deserving. Yeah,
so
they'd be
this
very deserving.
this Houston team reminds me of Michigan State in 2000.
Mm,
They rebound the ball ferociously. They defend ferociously,
hmm
and they've got enough offense to win. They don't have an Alabama level offense or anything like that, but you're not getting points and you're not getting rebounds against Houston. If you can rebound and you can defend the ball, and you can rebound and defend at the level that Houston does, this to me is like some of Tom Izzo's best teams. In fact, I mean, University of Houston like reminds me of Michigan State and Michigan State's glory years. And I fully believe if one of Houston's best players had not gotten injured last year, Houston would have won the national championship. And give me Houston.
Yeah. I mean, Houston has been building to this over
Yes.
the past several years. So yeah, they've been consistent where a lot of teams haven't. I do have a question. So you have Houston, I have Bama. I want to just for 1 second imagine that MSU has made the Final Four, and let's say they're playing Florida, and we still have our picks on the other side, some version of Duke and Houston and whoever.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think happens there if, say, we have MSU and Florida in the Final Four.
Uh, I think I think would Michigan State would love to play Houston, just because they match up.
Yes.
They can match up against Houston a little
Yeah.
bit. Uh, they wouldn't mind playing Duke, uh, and they honestly wouldn't mind playing Alabama.
Right.
The only team out of that group I would fear is Florida. I think Florida
Yeah.
is just too complete,
Yeah.
offensively and defensively. There's just too complete for Michigan State. I mean, they're more complete than Auburn. And like I said, Auburn was the only team I was worried about in the East. Florida is, is the only team out of that four that I feel like Michigan State would just have no shot at beating.
Yeah. Because when I look at the other teams, on that bottom of the bracket there in the Florida region, I mean, besides Florida, I feel like the Spartans would match up very well against most of those teams.
Yep, I agree.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, it's just right. I agree with you. I just think, yeah, MSU would probably lose to Florida. But if they somehow won and got in the final, I think anything goes there. I
Yep.
mean, they could be cutting down the nets just as
Yep.
easily as one of the other teams. Yep.
100% agree.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. Well, hopefully that happens.
I would love to see that. Even another trip to the Final Four. I'm not asking for the world,
Yep.
but I'd
Yep.
love to have the world. It's been 25 years since
Yep.
MSU won a national championship, so why not?
Agreed. Tom Izzo, make it happen. Uh, all right. That's it for Sparty Talk, everyone. I'm Satchmo. That's DB. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.